The scholarship journey continues.
This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, episode number 209. Welcome to the world's longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. I'm John Fugler, founder of Recruit Me, along with the new Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks. As athletic scholarship coaches, we want to help you as a family succeed in the recruiting world and get a scholarship for your student athlete. We are each dads of D1 athletes, and we feel we have a wealth of experience to share. This weekly podcast, 15 minutes, will change your scholarship future. You can find every episode on your favorite podcast app or on our website at recruitme.com. Make sure you check out our free Recruiting Power Pack. It's a must for every high school sports family. You download it, instant access to it at recruitme.com. That's recruit-me.com. Well, John and Brent here once again. We've been journeying through the high school career of student athletes. And so, Brent, how you doing this week as we tune in together here?
Very good. Lubbock, Texas has been nice to us with not as much heat as I expected.
Oh, well, that's pretty good because here in North Carolina, it's been toasty. And I got to ask you, as a dad, we've talked about this before, how tough it is to be a parent of an athlete, and you're a parent of a pitcher. What are some of the challenges that you face in the stands and just being a parent of a competitive athlete?
Well, keeping quiet is one of the things, and it is tough. But I enjoy trying not to living through my kid. The way I act, I want to make sure that I act correctly so that he's not embarrassed. But there's never anything that my kids can do to embarrass me when they're out there on the field or on the court.
Yeah, and I know as a parent of a pitcher, especially, you're into every pitch. I mean, every pitch, every play you're on the edge of your seat, aren't you?
Yeah, and one reason I video is not only just for recruiting, but is I don't like to hear myself yelling at the umpire on the video, so it keeps me a little quieter when I video.
That's right. They got evidence there. Guilty as charged if you do.
That's right.
Are you a stander or a sitter?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Kind of depends on the shade.
All right. Hey, we're talking about the basics of each year of high school, and we've covered the freshman, sophomore year, junior year here today in this episode. Man, go back and listen to some of the previous episodes if you haven't yet. Brent goes into great detail about what to do each year, and in this episode, it's no exception. For most student athletes, junior year, it's go time. Brent, I'll put you on the spot. How would you explain go time?
Well, the junior year for most student athletes, larger percentages where they've matured physically and are maturing skill-wise. So most of the sports, the college sports, they're really judging you a lot on size, speed, and your strength. So as we mature, our bodies are getting where people want to pay attention to us a little bit more for a majority of the athletes. So the reason we suggest for you to go back and listen to 207 and 208 is because in your freshman, sophomore years, you really just need to educate yourself on colleges and the overall recruiting process, because now your junior year is when action probably is going to start for most student athletes.
And we really believe that your son or daughter should go to the school that's the best fit. And I like what you said, Brent, is the athletes are maturing in size, speed, and strength. And perhaps that is a good way to really judge maybe where the athlete does fit in, whether it's D1, D2, D3, NCAA, NAIA. It's about the best fit. It's not about even going to what might have originally been your top choice, isn't it?
That's right, because you want to go and you want to play, and then in the long run, and I've heard coaches say this, they want these 4 years of college to set up your next 40 years in your life. So even though sports are very, very important, the fit and the academics are very important too.
Now, here we go into the junior year, which is where your son is right now, going into junior year, isn't it? That it?
Yes. Sutton's going into junior year, and so we've got a lot of things to do here our junior year, don't we?
Oh, man. So from first-person experience, let's hit the things that athletes and families need to be going through in junior year, and we'll just take these one at a time.
That'll be fine. Really, your junior year, we're going to kind of refresh a little bit from some of the things we talked about in the sophomore year, and then we're going to add some stuff. But again, taking the ACT or the SAT, or you can retake it. And I think we had some information on our last video about the ACT or SAT. You need to continue to talk to your high school counselors your junior year and make sure and check your academic path and make sure you're online, because now you're getting ready to go halfway through your academics in school. And this is also a good time to get with your high school counselor and get your check on what your GPA is and your class rank, so you can be ready to send that out. Obviously, if you have a high GPA and a high class rank, you're going to want to brag on yourself to the coaches that you're looking at in college.
I would think
then
that
at the end of your junior year, you want to get with your counselor too and upload your official transcript to coaches if they are requesting that, especially if you have committed to a school.
And I would think too that it's really important to review the NCAA and NAIA guidelines for core classes. Here you are in your junior year, and boy, you better make sure you're on course and you're taking the right classes so you can be eligible.
Yeah, so if you're picking this up in your junior year, you haven't really listened to any of this stuff before, you're going to have to go back and make sure you're online. If you're just starting your freshman and sophomore year, hopefully we've helped you to get set up, so that's one of the things you don't have to worry about as much your junior year.
Okay. And you can, again, listen to the previous episode to find out more details about that. Okay, so some other things that need to happen in junior year, Brent.
Yeah, and last episode we talked about getting your intro emails set up and your player profile together so you can be ready to send that stuff out. And right here at the end of your sophomore year, going into your junior year might be a really good time to send those out. And then we're going to start adding to those and sending periodically sending stuff out to the coaches that you're interested in, the schools you're interested in. So some of the things that you can send, and you don't want to send this all at one time, because you want to send something at the very first of your junior year, and then maybe before Christmas, and then maybe after Christmas. So we want to send our high school schedule or our off-season schedules to the schools that we're interested in, so they know when and where we're playing. Also in that, you want to put coaches' information on there, your high school coach or your off-season coaches' information in there. Another email that you can send would be any academic updates, test scores, or academic awards that you get throughout your school year, if you get any your junior year. And then another email you might send, and these are just brief emails that you can send to give them updates, would be athletic updates, some stats, athletic awards, any updated video, maybe some vital performance times like running times, velocities, strength on some sports. And again, these are all different emails. You don't want to lump them all together and just send them in one email to coaches. You want to spread them out through the year.
So that's being consistently in contact with coaches. I can't emphasize how important that is, because sometimes we think, well, one and done, I got my stuff to the coach and that's it. Now it's just up to them to keep the ball in the air. But we as families need to keep the ball in the air.
Yeah. We don't want to wait on coaches. We want to let them know and raise our hand and let them know that we're interested in them. And in turn, a lot of times they become more interested in us.
Okay, great. Let's move on. Some other things that families need to do in junior year.
Yeah, the students really haven't talked to coaches probably up to this point because of a lot of the restrictions that the NCAA or the NAIA have. But you can call coaches, and we want you to refer to ncaa.org to get all the rules and regulations. But when you call a coach, you've got to have a plan. And actually in the Athletic Scholarship Playbook, Chapter 8 really has a good list of some of the questions you can ask. And, ask questions that you want to know about their program, what style they play, what color are their uniforms, if that's important to you. Just sit down, think about some stuff that are kind of important to you, so you have a plan that you're not just saying, hi coach, how are you? And then he's asking all the questions. You want to, he or she's asking all the questions. You want to be asking the questions and be on the offense.
Okay.
And then after you make calls or get emails back or get texts, update your contact chart. Whether it's a contact chart that you've made, or if you have purchased the athletic scholarship recruiting planner and journal, there's great charts already in there that you can keep updated too. So you want to continually update your contact chart. Coaches may change, new ideas may pop into your head, so you want to keep that updated.
Okay.
And then don't be shy about asking for third-party letters or emails, actually, in this day and age, from other coaches that you've played against. If you have a good relationship with some of your off-season coaches, or even ones that you play against, teachers and administrators. Those are great third-party references that tell that you're not only good on the field or on the court, but you're also good in the classroom and then in the hallway.
Boy, you're busy junior year, aren't you?
Yes. And again, kind of going back, that's why we kind of start thinking about this stuff our freshman and sophomore year.
Well, if you are an athlete who's going into your junior year, or parents, you got an athlete who's at this stage, you're going to be able to walk through it with Brent, because he's going to be doing it himself with Sutton.
That's right. And we're going to start planning unofficial and official visits, and we'll get into official and unofficial visits a little bit later, but maybe on some other episodes. We don't really have time for those right now. And then here's some things that you can do kind of sitting around at night. You can look at the school's roster, their basketball team, their soccer team, their wrestling team, and see how you might fit. Check positions, check weights, check graduating years. How many student athletes are they going to have that are graduating, in the next couple years? And so see how you kind of fit in. Look at the school's previous recruits, and some of the bigger schools especially, you can kind of look at bigger recruits on fan pages, and then kind of see if they're still on the roster. Kind of raises questions sometimes if they get a whole bunch of recruits and then they're not there after 1 or 2 years.
Boy, that's great advice. Good advice.
And then look at the school's roster again, and then make notes of transfers. Do they get a lot of junior college transfers? Do they get a lot of upper level transfers? Are people moving around a lot? And it kind of lets you know a little bit about what might happen. If you go there as a freshman, are they going to bring in a junior college transfer on top of your junior year, and you're going to be recompeting for positions? Update anything on your profile or your intro letter. So again, there's new updates. Keep those things going. And then any new videos you can have ready, little 1 or 2 minute videos that you might send to coaches on your contact list.
Boy,
I'm out of breath, John.
So am I, just listening. Wow. Is there anything else?
Again, some sports and some student athletes may contact coaches going into their junior year or even before, or sometimes they have to wait till the middle of their junior year. So it kind of depends on how you're processing through the recruiting process. And I think we've kind of beat a dead horse on that's why you get prepared before you get into your junior year.
And if you are in junior year now, don't worry. You can just compress that. You can do the homework. In fact, this summer is a great time to do the kind of homework and education that you need on recruiting. This is an excellent time to do that during the summer. Brent, you covered a lot of ground here, and I know that Recruit Me 3.0, the athletic scholarship system, is a great tool that walks families through this process. There's a sense of accountability as you go through it, and it's an investment which will pay off in the future. Tell us a little bit more about Recruit Me 3.0.
Yeah, 3.0 is just condensing all this information. So we love for you guys to listen to us on our podcast, but sometimes you need to kind of speed the process up. This is a great way to do that. And normally it's $127, and you get information just immediately after you buy the product. But we've got it for $99, and you're going to get a very condensed and a very easy to follow recruiting process with the 3.0.
And just go to recruitme.com/system. That's recruit-me.com/system. Check it out. Take a look at it. It's got a 90-day money-back guarantee, and you can't beat that. So go and check out Recruit Me 3.0. Can't believe we've blasted past 15 minutes here, Brent. Junior year, very complete. I appreciate the detail that you explained this. And next week, I think everybody knows where we're going, right?
It's a senior year.
All right. So good luck in your travels this week, Brent, and we'll talk to you next week.